do little conversations to help their emotional maturity so that they can reach out to people and have deeper guy friendships.
That's a pretty emotional video. It's actually quite sad. So that is a biological woman who's transitioned into a trans man, talking about how lonely it is to be a man, and why he, all right, now is a he, understands why suicide is higher in men and everything, because it's hard being a man. Faraz, that's your future. I'm not being funny, mate. No one's coming to save you. Okay, welcome back to Fast Shape Performance there. My name is Tim Davies and I'm actually in Shadowlands HQ, not necessarily teaching on a Saturday, but my PA Katie, having a hot girl summit in Switzerland right now, sent me an email yesterday and said, "Hey Tim, can you speak to this dude before the weekend?" No, I can't, because I'm busy as a tiger. However, my boy Faraz is in pain here and I will take some time off on my Saturday to address his email. And it's a shit email. I'm not even joking, Faraz, mate. I'll delete all your address and everything at the top here, but I am going to use your name, Faraz, all right? Because you've got to build you up as a young man. You are not going to fly a jet if you present yourself to people like this, and I'm not joking. Now, your saving grace here is your email was sent at about 20 to 11 on the 6th of the 6th, and it does say in here that you've got a bit of a drink issue, all right? I'm assuming you had a few beers, whacked out an email to me, sent it, hoping that you get a response. I'll give you a response, Faraz. I'll give you a response right now. I'm going to treat you like you're a student of mine. This email is pretty much unreadable to me, Faraz, all right? I'm not going to help you out here. Look, what we've got here, we've got a lack of punctuation. There's no capitalization at all. There is literally, grammar is exceptionally poor. You're missing off. It's a bad email. Now, here's how simple this can be. I'm going to teach you something right now. If you send a CV to a company, by the way, and it is like this, they put it in the bin straight away. They don't even look at it because they've got so many CVs coming in that are really good, that are just written really well. Simplest of things. I don't know whether this is going to work. We're going to try it. Let's go and just get a Control-A. Control-C, I've copied your email. Now we're going to go on something called the internet. Okay, now we're going to type in here, I don't know, I haven't done this before. Correct my grammar, I guess. I don't know. Then we're going to have a look here and we're going to go, all right, scroll down, I don't know what, just anything, I guess. What's anything? Quillbot, what's that? All right, let's type in something here, let's just paste it in. What's that? Look at the red on this, Faraz. Look at the red on this, mate. So look how much red, look, 140 errors in your email that you sent me, an instructor in the Air Force with 20 years experience, and you're asking for advice and you're writing, I've got a 10-year-old nephew, mate, and I'm not even joking, who I swear could write a better email than this. Now, we haven't had a few beers before, fair enough, you know what I mean? I'm not hitting you for it, I'm trying to help you out. I always wanted to fly for the military. This country has given me safe and free country, and I always wanted to serve in the military. You are 20 years old, mate, 20. Fix all errors. I haven't used this before, I don't know what happens. Right, okay, looks like it's fixed all errors. Let's read it. I always wanted to fly for the military. Full stop. This country has given me safe and free country, comma, and I always wanted to serve in the military. That's to do with breaking down a clause. You can use a comma before and if you break down. I don't even know too much about it, but I'm saying it reads better. Yeah, it reads better. And now what you do, Control-A, Control-C, copy that shit, put it in an email, Control-V, send it to me, Faraz. Send it to me like that. Don't send it to me because I'm going to answer you here, mate. You know what I mean? Look, you're 20. I don't care whether your English is good or bad, but what I do care about is how you present yourself and how resourceful you are. No one knows that you would use this. Just send it to me. I'm going to think your grammar is excellent. Look, if you're all right, Faraz, I'd rather use this one because the one that you did have was really hard to read. I have read it through once and I have got some notes on it for you. So I've made these notes and I'm going to go through it. There's 5 things I want to talk about. I want to keep it short. So if I sound quite brutal, Faraz, it's not because there's not a lot of man love coming to you, mate, in a special kind of British way. It's because I haven't got time and it's a Saturday and I don't tend to do work on a Saturday because my wife and I, we tend to do other stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to stop it. I've got 2 videos to show you. I've got 5 points to make. I'm going to leave it, mate, all right? Good evening. Good start. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to reach out to you and ask for advice about becoming a fighter pilot in the military. Sound. I always wanted to fly for the military. This country has given me safe and free country and I always wanted to serve in the military. Yeah, I get it. I was on track to get the educational qualifications to join the RAF as a pilot in year 10. I think that's beginning of GCSEs. And I was getting top grades in maths, English and science. Good combination there. And I was involved in sports like cricket and football. But then in year 11, Just 3 months before my GCSEs, my mum and dad split up and I was moved into temporary social housing in a very bad area, and then my GCSE grades were hugely affected by this and my mental health. That's why Katie has sent this to me, because she's seen a young man struggling. She's up walking the hills in Switzerland. She gets all these emails from, and normally the ones that say, hey, I'm a 14-year-old, I want to be a pilot in the Air Force. I'm like, go and look at my entire YouTube catalogue. But she sent this one through for Az. She sent this one through because she sees something about you here. Okay, who's the doctor they told you to go see? Dr. FJP, all right? And I'm in session delivering some medicine right now, and that medicine is for you. Mental health we're going to talk about. I think everything's being labelled as mental health, and a lot of the time I just think it's life. You know, a lot of GPs, when people come in and go, I've got mental health issues, they will say, no, you haven't. You've got shit life syndrome. SLS. Speak to a GP and ask them, you've got shit life syndrome. This is a knock. You have got problems here. This is a big issue and we need to solve this issue right now, okay? Then in my sixth form, I enrolled in a BTEC extended diploma in uniform public services, 3 A-level equivalent, but due to some traumatic incidents and family life issues, my attendance and performance dropped. Then in year 13, I was given an ultimatum by my teachers, either drop back to year 12 and restart the course or be kicked out. I then decided to drop back to year 12, but then I had agendas against me by 2 teachers and I was badly bullied by teachers. Your writing needs work, by the way. I then got kicked out just before the COVID lockdown 2020. I'm not convinced you're being bullied by 2 teachers. It's very unlikely that's happening. I think you might be being a bit of a dick here, to be fair, and that's why the teachers are disliking you. Now, it could be that you are genuinely being bullied by 2 teachers, but I've never heard of that before, and in fact, good students don't tend to get bullied by teachers, they tend to get encouraged by teachers. So maybe have a look at your role in here, be a man about it, Faraz. All right, be a man about it, because I'm going to talk about your father in a minute, and I'm sure he'd want you to do this, all right? You sound like a very proud man, your dad, all right? Very proud man. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I was let back into the sixth form for year 13, but I was told I was only eligible to enroll in the BTEC Level 3 90 credit diploma 1A level. When I asked why I couldn't enroll in the extended diploma, they said because I wasn't here in year 12, but I wasn't there because they kicked me out. I then got told by my head of sixth form that I'm on the national diploma 2A level. So I completed year 13, and when I got my results, I discovered I only achieved the 90 credit diploma despite being told by teachers I'm on the national diploma. Right, I haven't got kids, I don't know all this. What I'm hearing is you don't have the qualifications that you thought you were going to have. This made my plans to go to university and join the RAF go down the drain. I developed very bad mental health issues. I'm going to read this next one, then I'm going to stop and we're going to do something here. I'm now 20 and my dream to join the military as a pilot just seems non-existent. I have very bad depression and anxiety. I'm now a different person. I drink and have deep, I think that means resentment, and my friends around me have no ambition, always negative. Right, I'm going to bring you a video right in right now. I'm going to get a woman, a biological woman, to teach you what it means to be a man. This is a bit of a weird one, so just follow me on this, all right? This is a trans man. This is a woman who's transitioned to being a man, trans man, all right? Just listen to what this previous woman talks about being a man, and I'll come back to you in a second.
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of how open women are than I've had in my 8 years of transitioning. Because women are just so much more vulnerable and deep than men. But to have known, and I think a lot of trans men feel this, is we knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to have people want to hug us. And to have people want to talk to us. And to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. And people are colder. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men. Because this shit is lonely. And I'm an emotionally mature man. I know how to build friendships, and it is still really, really hard. Try to think about how you can, in your small little community where you feel safe, can reach out to the men in your life and just help them feel maybe seen for a moment. or do little conversations to help their emotional maturity so that they can reach out to people and have deeper guy friendships.
That's a pretty emotional video. It's actually quite sad. So that is a biological woman who's transitioned into a trans man, talking about how lonely it is to be a man, and why he, all right, now is a he, understands why suicide is higher in men and everything, because it's hard being a man. Faraz, that's your future. I'm not being funny, mate. No one's coming to save you. All right, that's just an absolute fact. This work needs to get done by yourself or with just other dudes. This is how it is, all right? Now, you can do that, and in a minute you talk about cricket, you can do it through sport, gym, all that kind of stuff, all right? When Andrew Tate talks about this, and I'll bring Tate into this because he said some good things. He has said some very stupid things, by the way, so I will just say that as well. But he said some very positive things for young men who are struggling, and I will say that, and I will stand by that. His brother Tristan said some similar things as well. He surrounds himself by people that challenges him, all right? And that's what men need to do. We need to be challenged by other men. A lot of men don't get challenged by other men, all right? And they get this loneliness thing. That's what sport and competition is for. So in short, there's a video I've done earlier about no one's coming to save you. Have a watch of that, all right? This, being a different person, drinking, having deep resentment, you've got to sort that out. You can be resentful of things that have happened to you in the past. You can play the victim narrative, and you can be the victim, and some people are genuinely victim, and we got to feel sorry for them. They are literally victims. But you alone get to start. You decide whether you stay that victim. You can be a victim, but whether you stay as that victim, that's something that you decide. Only you decide that, okay? You have to make your mind up on it, because your whole life can be resenting the fact that your parents separated when you were just a young guy before your GCSEs. Now, look at my A-levels. I got an EEN. I went to university. I did a BTEC, H&D, Aerospace Manufacturing Technologies, University of West of England. Transitioned that onto a degree, came out, joined the Navy. It can be done, and I'll tell you why. Because the military, more than just academic qualifications, the military love hearing about how you overcame adversity. And you've got a truck of adversity here, mate. You've got a whole bucket load of adversity that you're working against. I want you to think about that, Faraz, when we talk about the rest of your email, mate. Listen to what you're saying now. I want to turn my life around. I'm sitting my IGCSE maths paper tomorrow as my first step to get 5 GCSEs and then get the A level I need. Yes, mate, do that. I also play cricket for a club, and I'm hoping to become a vice captain. Do that. Even if you don't get it, work as much as you can for it. And I'm going to drop this into the last point I'm going to talk to you about, where becoming an astronaut, shoot for the stars, you might reach the moon, that kind of stuff, all right? I'm aware this might seem a lot to you, but I can really do some advice. I'm giving you advice right now, mate. I also want to share my view on the RF diversity scandal. Before you do that, all right, let's just make sure we've covered everything off here. Friends, what's this no ambition friend business? What are you doing hanging around? Do you see me as a negative person? What are you doing hanging around negative people? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You need to be around positive people that are challenging themselves, hitting the gym every day. Go and join a gym or your cricket club, for example, where there are better players than you, all right? And I mean this, and it's kind of humbling in a way, all right? I row with a guy in a boat, and he is massive, this guy, and he's such a good oarsman, and I'm in the boat with him. It's only me and him, and I'm like every day humbled by this guy, like learning from him, listening to what he says. All right? I feel like a right dick in this boat, all right? But I'm learning from him. He's making me a better rower, all right? And I'm chairman of the club. I'm like the chair of the club, and this guy in the boat and everything is a much better rower than me, all right? I'm learning from him. Put yourself in those places where you can learn from other men, and you're doing that with the cricket club. You're not doing it with your friends who have no ambition and are always negative. I don't know any friends from when I was 20. That is a fact, all right? That is a fact. I don't know any friends at all from when I was 20 years old. Friends come and go in life. Pick friends that are going to drive you forwards and are challenging you. Pick friends that are going to call you fat. Now, this is what men do to each other. I don't think women do this so much. A man will go, hello, mate, all the pies then, stuff like that. And what they're saying is, one day I might need to stand next to you in war. Bang, mano, you're putting a few pounds on. I'm losing some weight because I was that guy that was putting some pounds on, all right? I've dropped alcohol because I was that guy that was drinking too much, sending bullshit emails like this that I've got to decipher on some grammar checker and waste my time getting back to you, Faraz, all right? I understand, mate, bit late, had a few beers. But I was that guy that did this as well. Is that the same thing you're doing? So I can't be too critical. That alcohol's not going to help you out. No one is going to want you entering the Royal Air Force drinking like this and flying airplanes. They're not going to trust you. This resentment, square that away. What's happened to you has happened. It's a life lesson. It's an absolute life lesson that you've learned early, and that is a great thing for you. You could be stuck in Ukraine now as a man. No one's coming to save you. You'd be on the battlefield right now, okay, as a man. That's just what happens to men. No one's coming to save you. You've got to do the work yourself. That's what it is. Are you investable in? Would I invest in you, all right? Every day when you wake up going, If someone yesterday said, would I invest that Faraz is going to hit the gym today? Would that guy have gone, there's $10, he definitely will, or there's $10, he definitely won't? Think about that. Would I bet on you? Because right now I wouldn't, Faraz, because your language is negative, but I'm sensing something in here. And the reason I'm sensing something interesting about you is because you've written to me and you said, hey Tim, I've got a problem. That takes a lot of courage. It does. I want you to think about that, because I want people on my wing in war that have the courage that you're demonstrating to me right now. I want that. I don't want people that are being victims sitting there saying I've got mental health issues because of probable failures that you had yourself, irrespective of the fact that your parents separated before your GCSEs, and that has to be very damaging, and I fully understand that, Faraz, don't worry. I want people that overcome that or are looking to overcome that, and so do the military. Right. You are getting an education. That is adversity. You're overcoming that. That is great to see. Grit and determination. I'm seeing it right now. I want to become the vice captain of my cricket team. Yes, you do. I'm loving that. That's really good. First attempt in learning. Let's listen to the Chief of General Staff, Patrick Sanders, on the fact that he was messing up his whole self and everything, and he got over it, all right? I'll play this video right now for you.
You know, I failed at every level, but I failed quite hard quite early on. You know, I got thrown out of university on a cadetship after my first year for a combination of not working hard enough and misbehaviour, and then at Sandhurst accumulated what must have been the worst disciplinary record of any officer cadet in history. And yet there was nothing so heinous that they couldn't see the potential in me. And then I got to a platoon where I made, probably every single mistake that a young officer can make, you know, ranging from getting my platoon lost to over-familiarity, to trying an excessively ambitious plan that fell apart, you know. But the people around me always encouraged me. They'd hold me to account. And so you grow. And you grow through failure and mistakes. And then suddenly you wake up one day and you find that, much to your surprise and everyone else's around you, you're actually quite competent.
Good man. That's Patrick Sanders, right? He's the boss of the army, willing to come out and speak about the failings that he have. Fail. First attempt in learning. And that's what you're doing, Faraz. You're just a young dude, mate. That's what you're doing. I made more mistakes than you. Don't you worry about it. Mufasa. Made a lot more mistakes than you did, all right? You've got a difficult time. Social media, all that kind of scrolling stuff. You're bound to make mistakes. The Air Force understands that, all right? They just want to see you do the best out of it. Okay, you want to share on diversity, all right? And I'm all over this. And unfortunately, the Royal Air Force is as well. And that's going to catch up with it in the end. I'm British, but of Pakistani origins, and I don't care a serve with what the skin colour or gender is. I just want to fly with the best. Yeah, but the best don't want to fly with you, Faraz, because you can't write an email properly, mate. The best are people that put a lot of effort in for a very long period of time. It's called consistency. Every single day they are getting up, doing things that other people don't do, so they can be other things that people are not, if that makes sense. So if you want to be different to other people, you've got to do things that are different. You've got to learn how to write a proper email. You've got to learn how to dress properly. You've got to learn how to exercise properly. The knowledge is out there. You just got to do it. You've got to stop doom scrolling on Instagram, all that kind of rubbish. You've got to stop hitting those beers in the evening, mate. And I'm not even joking. You really do, because that's going to end up downhill. My dad came here from Pakistan with not much, and we lived in the rough ends of Glasgow as asylum seekers. This was during the early 2002. My dad and I faced a lot of racism and discrimination, but he never let it stop him. He just used to put his suit on and carry on, and he made sure he got his qualifications. My dad always told me, Faraz, you can achieve anything in this country if you work hard. And I always remember him saying that, as my dad used to get the overnight coach from Glasgow to London Victoria for job interviews. He used to be tired from the journey. He would just go to the toilets of the station, throw some water on his face, put on a suit and go to the interview. I'd love to hear any advice you have for me, and I hope to hear from you soon. Absolutely, mate. That's your father doing that. All right? That's your father demonstrating to you the way that a man should behave. I want you to get the Air Force to say no to you, or the Navy or the Army, and I'd apply to a lot of them. Okay, this is getting quite long, got to chop a lot out, it's going to cost me time. Make them tell you no, all right? So have some backups, but keep knocking at that door. If you're kicking out a door, eventually someone's going to open it. So do everything you can, apply to them, and make them, don't not apply is what I'm saying, because you don't think you got the qualification. Apply. Always apply. Mental health in young people. I know you're saying you've got mental health issues. If you go back into there's a Nuffield, I can't remember what it's called, foundation, did some research. Mental health in young people is up, people that citing mental health as young people is up 30% since it was in my day. I don't think in my day I really knew what mental health was. We're just playing in the dirt outside because I'm Gen X. Legends. But now it's a big thing. It may not be mental health issues that you have. It may just be that your life is a bit shit right now. That means you've got to go outside, do some burpees, hit the concrete, go for a run, pick up some weights, go and play cricket. I'm not even joking. Go and get sweaty. Get rid of that. Get rid of the toxins in your body, sweat them out, all right? Keep positive. Get rid of those negative friends. I'm not even joking you. We've all got negative friends, all right? I just see less of them. It's just how it is, all right? It's about positivity. And don't label yourself with negativity. A lot of people are going to label you with a lot of negative stuff through your life. Don't be the person that labels yourself. Last one then, aim to be that astronaut, okay? Aim to go to the Air Force and say to them, look, I want to be the astronaut. I want to be the first British Pakistani astronaut. I want a European Space Agency, SpaceX. I want to be that guy. In the meantime, I'd like to have 20 years flying jets, whatever, you know what I mean? Aim really, really high, okay? Be that guy that aims high. Keep pushing it. Try and get to university. I really would. Go and get that A-level you need it. I think you're on a positive journey here. I think you're on the right way. I'm glad you wrote to me. I hope this has been a wake-up call for you, because I would not accept someone with your negativity coming in and telling me they want to fly jets. Why? Here's the last thing as well. You've got to show the Air Force you can study, because that's the whole point of education. Don't care what you get. You can have a religious studies degree, it doesn't matter, but it's the fact that you can study. Because right now fast jet training is 7 years, mate. You know what I mean? That's a long time to be hitting the books for, and they've got to make sure that you can do that. Don't drop out of classes, all right? Don't be a dick. Look at it as when I'm studying, I'm studying. When I'm not studying, I can rant about my teachers and everything else, but when I'm there, I'm there. Your dad was a professional man. You just told me he was. He was getting a coach from Glasgow to London Victoria, putting his suit on, water in his face. Think of that. That's what your dad did. Your dad went there, went, oh, that was a nightmare journey. Right, I'm at interview now. That's what you got to be doing with your education, right? I'm being in education now. I'm in school now. I'm at college now. I'm at university now. When I'm here, bang, I'm working. When I'm out, I'm doing something else. I'm chilling, doing whatever, all right? Staying away from my negative friends, staying away from that alcohol. And here's the deal I'm going to give you right now. In 1 year's time, 1st of June 2024, if you write to me again, I'll do another video for you, all right? And we'll have another evaluation in a year's time. You've got 12 months to do some work. I want to hear about your cricket. I want to hear about your drinking. I want to hear about your negative friends. I want to hear about your education. I want to hear about your mental health. I want to hear about your positive attitude. Now, you've told me you want to change your life around. You want to square yourself away, Faraz. Here's your opportunity right now. You're not going to get another one. You're not going to get any more of my time. A year's time, I promise you, I'll do another one of these for you. Yeah, my wife's calling me downstairs now.